What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And if you are a New England Patriots fan, I need you to stop everything you are doing right now, because the news that has been breaking over the last 48 hours out of Foxborough is absolutely sending shockwaves through the entire NFL world. We are talking about one of the most explosive, most anticipated, most talked about potential trades in the entire 2026 offseason, and it involves a superstar wide receiver, a young franchise quarterback who is ready to take the next step, and a price tag that is going to make your jaw drop. So settle in, get comfortable, and let's break down everything you need to know about the Patriots and the A.J. Brown situation, because this story is moving fast and you do not want to get left behind. Let's set the stage here, because the context around this story makes it 10 times more compelling. The New England Patriots entered the 2026 NFL Draft with one of the most interesting roster-building situations in the entire league. Head coach Mike Vrabel and Executive Vice President of Player Personnel Elliott Wolf had 11 picks heading into draft weekend, making them one of the best-positioned teams in football to either build through the draft or use the capital as ammunition to go out and swing for a massive trade. And what did they do? They were extremely active. They traded up in the first round to select Utah offensive tackle Caleb Lomu at number 28 overall. They jumped up again in the second round to grab Illinois edge defender Gabe Jacas. They landed Notre Dame tight end Eli Raridon in the third round. 4 total trades over the course of the weekend, all designed to strengthen the team around their young franchise quarterback Drake May. But here is what everybody noticed through all 9 picks across 3 days of the draft. The Patriots did not select a single wide receiver. Not one. And that was not an accident. That was a message. Because the open secret that has been circulating through NFL circles for weeks now is that the Patriots believe they are going to land one of the most physically gifted wide receivers in the entire league through a trade with the Philadelphia Eagles' A.J. Brown. And the latest reporting from ESPN insider Adam Schefter has essentially confirmed that this thing is not just a rumor anymore. Schefter said on a recent appearance on the Pat McAfee show that it is not going to be hard to get this deal done, that the Eagles are open to moving Brown, and that the Patriots want him badly. He went even further and reported that Brown is, in his words, likely to become a Patriot after June. One Saint, think about what that means. One of the premier NFL insiders in the business is not saying this might happen or could happen. He is saying it is likely to happen. That is about as close to a done deal as you can get without the official announcement dropping. Now, let's talk about why June 1st matters so much, because the timing here is everything, and it tells you a lot about how carefully both sides are navigating this. Brown carries a massive contract, and the Eagles' dead cap charge if they trade him before June 1 sits at a staggering $43.4 million. But if that trade goes through after June 1st, that number drops all the way down to $16.4 million. So Philadelphia has every financial incentive in the world to wait just a few more weeks before making this move official. The conversations between the two teams are expected to resume right around that June 1st window, and league sources are telling reporters that a deal is expected to culminate at that point. When you combine that financial structure with the fact that the Patriots deliberately chose not to invest a single draft pick in a wide receiver this past weekend, you start to realize that this trade is essentially already penciled in. New England is not leaving themselves a wide receiver-shaped hole in their roster by accident. They are leaving that spot open because they know exactly who is coming to fill it. And the price? According to Adam Schefter, New England could be looking at giving up a 2028 first-round draft pick in exchange for Brown. Now that is a steep price on the surface, but when you really think about what the Patriots are getting in return, it starts to make a lot of sense. A.J. Brown is 28 years old, which means he is entering the absolute prime window of his career. He is a 2-time Pro Bowl selection. He is one of the most physically dominant wide receivers in the sport, a guy who can win against press coverage, run precise routes at his size, and make contested catches look routine. He averaged over 1,000 receiving yards per season during his peak years in Philadelphia. And perhaps most importantly, he already has a pre-existing relationship with Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel, the two of them having spent time together during Brown's early days with the Tennessee Titans. That familiarity is not just a small footnote. it is potentially a massive accelerant to what could be a very special partnership in New England. Now, if you are a Patriots fan, that detail should create a little bit of urgency and concern, because the moment Kansas City enters a bidding war for a player, the price goes up and the odds of landing the player get a little more complicated. New England is still considered the frontrunner, and everything about how they constructed their roster this offseason points toward Brown ending up in Foxborough. But the Chiefs' involvement is a reminder that nothing is final until the papers are signed, and the next few weeks are going to be absolutely critical. Now let's talk about what a Jay Brown would actually mean for Drake May and this Patriots offense, because I think some people are still underselling just how transformative this move would be. Drake May came into the 2025 season as one of the most highly anticipated rookie quarterbacks in years, and he showed flashes of being genuinely special. The arm talent is elite. The athleticism is off the charts. The football intelligence is clearly there. But like almost every young quarterback in the NFL, what May needs most to continue his development is a true number one wide receiver, a guy who can win one-on-one, take the top off a defense, and make life easier for everyone else on the field. Right now, the Patriots' projected starting receivers are Romeo Doubs, Mac Hollins, and Keyshawn Boutte. That is a respectable group of players, but it is not a group that is going to strike fear into opposing defensive coordinators. A Jay Brown at number one changes that conversation entirely. A Jay Brown paired with Drake May gives New England a legitimate offensive weapon that rivals anything in the AFC, and it could be the piece that takes this team from a promising young squad to a legitimate playoff contender in 2026. The Patriots also officially released wide receiver Elijah Mitchell in the days following the draft, a move that reads like further roster cleanup in anticipation of a major addition at that position. Everything the organization is doing, every roster decision, every draft strategy, every public statement, it all points in one direction. They want a Jay Brown. They believe they are getting a Jay Brown. And the football world is watching very, very closely. So here is where things stand right now, heading into May of 2026. The Patriots came out of the draft with a strong haul of young players headlined by Caleb Lomu and Gabe Jacas, two players who can immediately contribute to protecting Drake May and creating pressure on opposing quarterbacks. They have a shiny new tight end in Eli Raridon who has drawn comparisons to a legitimate three-down player. And lurking on the horizon, potentially just weeks away from being announced, is a blockbuster trade that would send one of the most electric wide receivers in the league to Foxborough to team up with their franchise quarterback in what could be the most exciting Patriots offense fans have seen in years. The energy around this team is building. The roster is taking shape. And if a Jay Brown puts on that number 11 in red, white, and blue, New England is going to be a team nobody in the AFC wants any part of. If you are not subscribed to this channel yet, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on your notifications, because this story is going to explode in the next few weeks, and I'm going to bring you every single development as it happens. Drop a comment below and tell me, do you think the Patriots actually land a Jay Brown, or does Kansas City swoop in and steal him away? Let's have that debate in the comments, because I genuinely want to know what you think. Like this video if it got you fired up, share it with your Patriots friends, and I will see you in the very next one. Let's go New England!